you doing?
Take a look.
Cunning bugger. I'd never thought of looking there.
Neither did they. I told you I'd get them, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, but when they said you had to be strict and everything, I thought you'd miss out.
Barry's an amateur.
Struth. What are you going to do with them? Sell them?
Drugs are for fools and pushers are worse. Remember that.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking. Who are they for, then?
B. Smith. She really needs them.
B? Well, what are you going to give them to B for?
What kind of question's that? You've known B for years. Do you want to see her in pain?
Oh, Meg, the police are looking for you.
Me?
Yes, apparently Lizzie's house was burnt down yesterday afternoon.
No. Is she all right?
Well, they don't know where she is. There's no sign of a body in the ruins, fortunately, but Lizzie seems to have just disappeared. They thought you may know where she would be.
Well, she didn't have any friends on the outside. There are a few pubs she used to visit when she was at the halfway house. I could try them.
No, just give the names to the police. They can do the questioning.
Well, I doubt whether they'll get many answers from those people. They'd be much better off with me.
It's not your job, Meg. You're no longer Lizzie's parole officer, and there's plenty of work to do here. Come in.
Oh, you wanted to see me, Mrs. Davidson?
Yes. Would you give that information to Sergeant Kennedy at the arson squad, Mrs. Morris?
Right.
The goods you confiscated from the prisoners in your recent spot check. The stores have been checked, and none of those goods were stolen.
Well, they must have been stolen from somewhere.
We all know that the women trade cigarettes, etc. There's no way of stamping that out. I want everything given back.
Well, that can only make us look stupid.
Well, they shouldn't have been confiscated in the first place.
Right. I'll do it right away.
This afternoon will do. We'll gather all the women in the recreation room. That way, everyone will see that they're being treated fairly.
Aren't you supposed to be working in reception this morning, Brad?
Yes, Mrs.
Well, get on with it. I'm sure Burns is old enough to brush her own hair by now.
Thanks, Jude. What's she so upset about?
Oh, who cares? She's taken over Vera's job. The place is still the same.
No, it's not. Lizzie's gone. I've got an extra 6 months, and those newcomers are coming in just going to take over the place, and Bee's letting them do it.
You can't blame her for that, love. She's sick.
Oh, yeah, so she says.
Well, it has to be true. Otherwise, why would she act so strange?
How would I know? I mean, she never tells us anything. It's the same with that new screw, Janet Conway. Bee has got something on her, and she's not telling us what it is.
No. I think I better have a little talk with Bee. But it'll have to be later. I better get to reception.
See you.
Feeling crook?
I felt better. Why?
You weren't at breakfast.
Yeah, it's because I wasn't hungry.
Won't the sister give you anything?
A couple of lousy aspirin. What will they do?
These might help.
I'm not into drugs. And you had better remember that.
They're not drugs, they're painkillers.
Yeah? And what's the difference?
May I see them? Where did you get these?
What is it?
Pethidine.
It's what you said she needed.
Well, I didn't tell you to steal them.
How else was I supposed to get them?
Look, would these help?
Yes, they'd ease the pain, but you'd have to be careful how many you took. No more than 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. I'll get you some water. You really think you've got all this sorted out, don't you? She acts as my personal physician and keeps me quiet while you work at taking over the joint.
I've already taken over. But it would help if you were on side.
Here. Will this put me to sleep?
No, you can still work.
If you're in control, how come you still need my help?
People will still come to you for help. You'll still be queen bee for a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm not exactly past it yet.
Yeah, I know. But you're not interested, are you? Someone's got to take over, and there's nobody else but me.
What about Doreen and Judy?
Those two. They couldn't even organise a chook raffle. It's always the same when there's been a tough leader in the place. Everyone else forgets how to think. That's what's happened here.
Oh, don't try and con me.
Okay. I'll make a deal. You back me up, and I'll make sure your old friends are looked after. I can't be fairer than that.
Besides, you haven't got much choice in your
Who asked you?
Yeah, Kate, stay out of it. This is between Bea and me.
All right.
I still think you should have a proper medical examination.
Oh, look, there's one other thing. Keep her and her medical opinions away from me.
Having trouble, eh?
Yeah, university education to operate one of these things. If I was on the outside, I'd be getting a 6-month instruction course.
Well, it wouldn't help you feeling sick.
Oh, don't you start. I'm getting enough from that stupid cow I share a cell with.
She's a doctor, Bea.
Well, not a very good one if she ended up in here.
She'd know if you were sick.
I know I'm sick.
Then why don't you do something about it? Find out what it is. You promised you would.
I know what it is.
How can you?
Because my mother had it. It's a brain tumour. Now, are you satisfied?
Come on, Bea. You can't get that kind of thing from your parents. Can you?
But you can from a bash on the head. I saw it happen to my mother. Headaches and dizziness. Feeling sick. And she ended up a bloody vegetable.
But, Bea, that doesn't mean that you're going to.
The paddy wagon, remember? I was knocked so bloody stupid I couldn't even remember who I was for days.
Well, you could still be wrong.
Yeah, but what if I'm right? My mother couldn't even feed herself. Couldn't wash or dress or anything. Yeah, sometimes I was sure she knew what was going on. She couldn't say anything. She couldn't make anyone understand. Well, I'm not going to have that happening to me. I'd rather die.
Bea, I think maybe you ought to go and have those tests, you know, just to know what you're facing.
I know what I'm facing.
What's going on here? This is the second time I've had to speak to you this morning, Bryant. You're supposed to be in reception, not hanging around with Smith causing trouble.
We're not causing trouble.
Well, what were you doing?
Just talking.
About what?
It's personal.
I didn't ask you. Well? You're on a charge, Bryant. A dumb insolence. Now get back to reception. Get on with it, Smith. Unless you'd rather go back to the laundry.
You silly cow!
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just washed them. Well, wash them again. Why should I? I wasn't the one who threw them on the floor.
Here, I'll help you. Put them in the machine.
Then I'll have to wait until they're washed again, won't I?
If you've got nothing to do, Dor, you can take over at the dryers.
That's your job.
I fancy a smoker.
You said you had nothing to do. Share and share alike.
No.
Saved by the bell, eh, Dor? Mm-hmm.